Hey, family. Let me ask you something real honest. Have you ever found yourself waiting for closure? Waiting for someone to come back and explain why they hurt you? Waiting for an apology? Or even just an acknowledgement that what happened to you wasn't okay? Yeah, I've been there too. But here's what I've learned. You don't need closure to heal. You need surrender. Let's talk about it. You know, a preacher once said something that really hit me. The problem with a lot of people is they're horrible at faking well. We go to church, we smile, we serve, we quote scriptures, but deep down, so many of us are living trauma-filled lives and silently hoping nobody sees the cracks. Let's be real. Most of us are carrying pain, pretending we're healed, and performing like we're whole. But here's the problem. You can't become who God created you to be and stay the same at the same time. That's not how transformation works. Growing up, I watched my mother turn the other cheek more times than I could count. She believed in peace. She believed in patience. But if I'm honest, she also stayed silent when she should have spoken up. And in that silence, I learned something dangerous. To survive, I had to toughen up. I admired bold, loud, aggressive people because I felt like I was never allowed to be that. And I carried that version of me into adulthood. That go-getter, overachiever, prove them wrong version of me. But here's the catch. That version was born out of pain, not purpose. And while it helped me survive, it's not the version that helps me heal. Some of us are grieving a version of ourselves that God is trying to deliver us from. We say we want peace, but we don't know how to live without chaos. We say we want love, but we're still waiting for someone to say, "I'm sorry." We say we want healing, but only if we can understand why we were broken in the first place. Family. Let me say it again. You don't need closure. You need surrender. Let's talk about Job for a second. The book of Job is one of the oldest in the Bible, and it's a wild story. Job had everything, wealth, family, favor, and then lost it all. Why? Not because he did anything wrong, but because of a conversation between God and Satan. In Job chapter 1, God literally offers Job for testing. Can you imagine that? God said, "Have you considered my servant Job?" Job 1:8. And just like that, Job's life was turned upside down. He didn't sin. He didn't mess up. He didn't invite the suffering. But it still happened. Now, here's the twist. Even after God restored everything back to Job, he never explained why he let it happen. No closure, no explanation, just restoration. So what does that mean for us? It means God isn't obligated to explain what he's already ordained. If you trust him to provide for you, then trust him with what you don't understand. Because the truth is, no explanation will ever bring back what you lost. No apology can undo the pain. No closure can fill the gap that only God's healing can. Let me ask you this. What version of you are you still holding on to because it helped you survive, but now it's stopping you from healing? Have you been waiting for an apology, a confession, or some why to finally move on? What are you still trying to control that God has been asking you to surrender? Be honest. Because when I finally let go of my need for closure, that's when peace walked in. That's when I realized I was never meant to carry it all. God didn't design me to hold that weight. He told us, "Cast all your cares on him, because he cares for you." 1 Peter 5:7. Not just some. Not just the churchy ones. All of them. So here's what I want to leave you with. You are not broken because someone didn't give you closure. You are not behind just because you haven't gotten answers. You are free to move forward, even without knowing why. Let God heal it. Let God carry it. Let God be enough. If this message spoke to you, if you're walking through healing and trying to make sense of your story, let's grow together. Let's heal together. And let's stop waiting for closure, because peace is already available. Remember, this is the Everyday Believers Network, where we help you see God in your everyday.